Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. This is Let's Talk Parks with BerryDunn, and my name is Becky Dunlap. We're in a series right now talking specifically about strategic planning, and we've been talking with Barbara Heller, who works with BerryDunn, and then also Ally Bujacich from PenMet Parks, who's the executive director there. Today, we're focusing on mission and vision. Now, not everyone who goes through a strategic planning effort decides to reimagine those elements. Sometimes you know that these are still true in your organization. Every organization is different, and that's why we customize everything that we do to our clients. But it's a good idea to at least confirm that your mission and vision are still relevant to you. Things might have changed in your community, and it is worthwhile just to ask the question if you're going to go through the exercise of changing your mission and vision. So I wanted to ask Ally about that, first about the mission and if they decided to change any of that during this process.
One of our desired outcomes from the strategic planning process was to reaffirm our mission. We started this process with a very clear, very powerful mission. We enhance the quality of life by providing parks and recreation opportunities for our community. That's a very clear purpose. It resonates with both internal and external stakeholders. It provides the why and the what behind what we do day in and day out. We are a very mission-driven organization, and that was even prior to this strategic planning process. So we started the process with that vision in hand. We were living it day in and day out. It guided and continues to guide all of our decisions from the major to the minor. But we did want to look at it as part of the strategic planning process. We ultimately determined that the mission statement was still relevant. It still made a lot of sense. So we determined not to alter it or change it or update it as part of this process.
We find that it's really common for organizations to want to keep their mission. Sometimes in this process that is change, but most often the vision or perhaps the values may change. And that's what happened in this strategic planning process. PenMet decided that it was actually a really good time to reimagine their vision. And they wanted to make sure that it was motivating and inspiring. And as Ally says, they're North Stars, so that everyone on their team knows where they're going and they know how to get there.
So we conducted a significant amount of outreach, both internally with staff, with our board, with community stakeholders, as well as with the community and the public on a broad basis. That was a very heavy focus of this planning process. And it was very important to us that this plan, the strategic plan, is not the executive director's plan or the staff's plan. It is the community's plan. So that listening piece was a commitment we made early on before actually beginning the process and kept. And we had really great success and got some very valuable insights and feedback that really helped guide this process, but very specifically the vision of the park district. We assimilated all of this feedback that we heard from our community. We used an interactive website called Social Pinpoint that BerryDunn hosted for us that saw really good traffic and interaction and turned out to be a really great tool. We also hosted in-person meetings, both for specific stakeholders and just open community meetings where anyone and everyone was invited and encouraged to come and provide input on this plan. It is the community's park district. And so we felt it was very important to understand what the community's vision was. So through that process, we landed on a brand new vision statement, the first vision statement that the park district has had, which again, really resonates not just with me, but with our community because it was developed hand in hand with our community. Our vision is to be a leader promoting health and well-being in a thriving community.
I really like how this vision is really understandable. It's really simple, and it helps to demonstrate the role of your organization and your community.
Every word in our vision statement was very intentional. And so you will note that our vision statement begins with, our vision is to be a leader. And I think that really embodies our approach to working with our partners, both current and potential future partners, to provide a very comprehensive set of community services. That's where health and being come into play. As a metropolitan park district, we are very well positioned to provide park and recreation services. We, as you said, we know how those impact people through health and being. We are not well positioned to provide every service, but we are well positioned to provide parks and recreation services. So that is why we chose very specifically that health and being language in the vision statement. And the thriving community, I think, is the piece that ties this all together. PenMet Parks is part of the fabric of our community, of this thriving community. That is a vision that we share in this community, that place where we want to live, to work, and to play. That is something that takes a broad group of agencies, of organizations, both public and private, and of people. So I think our vision statement really captures all of those perspectives. And at its core, the intention is that we're out there knit together with others to be a part of this really great place that we're really proud to live, work, and play.
These are the types of conversations that I love having. Mission and vision, I could talk about those all the time, but values is really where I'm so passionate about it, because I think when you start to really operationalize your values and people understand what it looks like to live in those values, that change really is possible. Thank you so much to Ally for being on the show. Next week, we'll dive into values more, and then we're going to talk about implementation and what it looks like to ensure